What is good, TPA podcast? It's your boy Big Holla. We are back again. I got a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Disha Lee.
That's your government.
Kiss my ass.
I have to ask everybody. I know.
No, that is not my government name. If you don't really know me for real, you're not going to know my government name. So that's just that. It's Disha Lee. Thank you.
Interesting. So what are you into these days?
So these days, I am a full-time voiceover actress. You may have heard me on a few commercials. I came out with a movie last year with Clifton Powell. I was a boxer. Stay tuned. Hopefully it comes out this fall. It may be premiering. But right now, doing voiceover, very, very heavy.
So how'd you get into voiceover?
So I've always been like an impersonator, and I was with my friend in the car doing some accents, and he was like, yo, do an Atlanta accent, and I did one, and he
Give me an Atlanta accent.
You want me to tell like this? So we were talking.
New York.
Son, so like what I'm really trying to say is we was in the car and we was talking about shit, and you know, I was doing an accent, and then he was just like, oh my gosh, like you should do voiceovers. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it's called. I never knew it was like an industry for it. I thought you were just an actress and maybe you did cartoons or maybe you showed up on a commercial. So eventually I got a voiceover coach. I was acting prior to, so I guess that's how I kind of like was in the industry, in the mix already. So I got a voiceover coach, and I've just kind of been doing my thing since, and that was last year. So we're a year in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your like best role that you've done so far?
My best role, I would say I was a news anchor for like a comedy sketch. I went in there, did it in one take, had no idea my voice could do that. So that was like my best thing that I've done. Maybe like my most notable thing that I've done would be like my Pillsbury commercial. But yeah, we getting there. We still new in the game, but we working.
So what's like your end goal with like voice acting?
I would love to be a cartoon. I want to be a cartoonist. I want
Cartoon Network or Disney Channel?
Cartoon Network.
Okay.
I prefer Cartoon Network. Disney Channel isn't just cartoons. So back when we were watching Disney Channel, we have like Proud Family.
Yeah.
They just did a reboot of that last year. If it was something like that, then I would go on Disney Channel. But I think that Cartoon Network has better cartoons. Duh, Cartoon Network.
I mean, Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon is in the lead for me. So it'd be like Nickelodeon, then Cartoon Network, then Disney. But it's also not like it was when we were kids. So I just feel like shit's different.
So what have you learned about like the voice acting industry? Because like I've talked to people who's been in the music industry, the entertainment. Well, I guess it's all entertainment, but like, you know, like regular acting or
regular
sports.
acting, yes.
Yeah, like face acting. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? How is the voice acting industry?
The voice acting industry is a very lucrative industry, but it's huge. Like, it's not just cartoons, or it's not just doing a voice on a commercial. It's so many other things. Like, you could be a narrator. You could be like a GPS. There's so many things that come with it. I said a GPS. Like, you could do like GPS work. But I just feel like the thing that I like about voiceover acting is, again, I was acting before. And when you're acting, people can see what you look like. They can see your facial expressions. And when it's voiceovers, it's up to the readers or the listeners' imagination. And it's like your voice either fits or it doesn't. So it's not based off of what you look like. It's just all about what you sound like. And I like that because, you know, pretty privilege, like, thanks. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But sometimes, like, I don't want my face seen. Like, I just want to be heard. And I really think that for me, my voice is like my gift. So I'm here to just use it either to make people laugh, cry, encourage you, be that fire under your ass if I need to. But there's like so many things you could do with it. You can come out with like some ebooks, or let's say years down the line, I want to be a motivational speaker. Like, you might hear me in your car on the way to work, or like radio. There's just so many things. And I appreciate the different hats that you can wear in voiceover.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I don't think I would be as funny without my facial expressions.
Nah, bro, you have no idea because when people aren't looking at you and you can just be your authentic, silly, goofy self, you get weirder when people aren't watching. So it's like when I was learning how to do cartoons, my coach was like, the sillier you get, the better you're going to sound. So I'm in there like, and like, I don't know if I do all that if people were watching me. So I think that unless you try it, you think it's a certain way, and you'll have a lot more fun trying it and getting in the booth than you would think being in front of the camera.
Yeah, but you were like, you grew up in sports though, right?
I did. I did.
So you don't think that like helped you like not worry about people looking at you?
You know, social facilitation is a real thing. I perform better when people are looking at me, but I also have like a secret like shyness to myself. So it's like when I'm not being looked at, I feel like I can produce better or do more in this industry versus somebody looking at me, because I thought I was great at acting, and then I saw myself on camera and I was like, oh my god, you suck. So behind the scenes for me, I have more fun. But yeah, I think sports may have given me like a certain confidence about myself just because I was used to people looking at me, but I genuinely have more fun without people looking at me.
That's crazy. I do like live streams on like YouTube, and I think like playing sports so much, like if y'all are just like names on the screen, like those are my people. Like I fuck with them, but like while I'm doing it, it's not like you're in the room with me, right?
Okay,
so
true.
it's very easy for me to be like very animated. Things that I act in ways that I never acted publicly, but now that I became comfortable like that, I act like that. Because that's how I think people feel judged, so they like reserve a lot of things.
Yes.
And once you get over that, like you'll realize how much more fun it is to be out in the world, because like nobody really cares.
No, so you feel like
the
it's
end of
easier to be yourself now.
Yeah, for sure.
So you've gotten over the hurdle of yourself. Yeah, it takes time. So I'm not really all the way over that hurdle yet.
I feel you. So what like who are your inspirations, or like how did you learn how to like do voice acting?
See, I don't really know if I have a lot of voiceover acting inspirations, only because I started out acting and I was so hell bent on, I'm going to be an actress, I'm going to be on this, I'm going to be on that. This is the type of character that I want to do. And when I went to acting class and I saw all these amazing actors and actresses, it was just like, oh, you really aren't that good. So, and again, going back to sports, like I ran track my whole entire like high school life, and I was pretty good. So it's like you get used to being good. You get used to being like the best, or you get used to being the top pick, and then going somewhere when you're not, it's like my ego was like, yo, really small. And I didn't really like how that felt, but it was a humbling experience. But I would say I didn't really have a lot of like inspiration. It was just something that I've always liked to do. I've always liked to make people laugh, or like to entertain, or to literally do impersonations of other people. So I think that it really is just, I don't want to sound too cocky when I say this, but I think it's like a natural born like talent, honestly.
Like, I think everybody has those though. I think what life is, I think Jay-Z said it. He was like, you want to live your life being able to do like the things you love, or that you feel inspired to do, and make a living off that.
Right. And we hear as we get older and as we grow, you know, find your passions so that it doesn't feel like you're going to work. Find your purpose so that you know what you want to have fun in this lifetime doing, or find your why. And for a long time, I was just like, damn, what is it for me? And then when I got into the studio doing voiceovers, I was just like, yeah, this is it. So I think it just was a natural thing for me. And I think I found my purpose in trying out different things in the entertainment industry. And this is something that just stuck.
Do you think you'll go back to like acting?
Absolutely.
For real?
I'm still acting, but it's not like my first choice. Voiceover first choice for sure. But I think that once I become a better voiceover actress, I'll become a better actress.
I'm about to teach you how to get a bag. I'm gonna tell you off the podcast though, because like especially like if you're good at like speaking, reading, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff. Listen, I tell everybody, the industry is fine, right? But the amount of gatekeeping that goes on in the industry, like social media. There's so much more money.
Yeah.
On social media. It's not
Unlock the formula for me, please.
I'm gonna tell you after this. Like,
All right.
I have a plan. All right, so
It's like he's my magic genie right here. Like,
Yeah, I'm
grant me
trying.
3 wishes.
I try to, because like I didn't realize how, like, when people talk about like, yo, people stuck in a matrix, blah blah. I think like there's some validity to like the concept that they're trying to say, but like most of it is like once you hit 18 or graduate high school, you're stuck in this cycle for 40 years.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like you got to think about how kindergarten we took naps, and then as soon as we go to first grade, they take it away, and it's like they're already trying to program you that you're not going to get rest, you're not going to get to sleep, and elementary school, the middle school, and then high school, it's all certain programming, and we're born free thinkers, but they don't allow our brains to do that forever.
Exactly.
Like, they put us in school, they put us in these institutions, they tell you the only way you're going to be successful is if you go to college and you get a degree. And there's like, how many people out here, not knocking college, but how many people out here have a degree and they're not even using it? So, or they're not in the field that they have their degree in. So yeah, I feel you are stuck in like a matrix zone of just work, a little bit of play, a little bit of eating, and then hella struggle. And unless you like unlock certain things, or you experience certain things, or you're around certain people that may show you something different, you're kind of just lost.
Do you drink?
Socially.
Okay. So I didn't understand back when I was working, because I didn't drink till I was 21, and I didn't really like.
I feel that. I mean, I had a couple like experiences, 19, 20, where I had some liquor, I got a little drunk, but like I wasn't like drinking. I never had a fake ID. I just waited until I was 21. So I get it.
Like, I didn't understand why Jesus turned water into wine until I stopped working.
Okay.
Right? And then I see people who do work, and why they enjoy events that drink so much is because like this is the only time like your brain can just let go. And like you drink so your body will let go with your brain.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And it's not sad to see, but it's like there's so much more to life, but everybody thinks like every step in life got to be forward. I made 40,000 last year, got to make 60 next year.
Right.
I got a 1,500 square foot apartment. I need a 2,500 square foot home in 5 years. Everybody's trying to go forward. So what society, I don't even think it's a byproduct. I don't think society does this on purpose, but like if you want more money, you can get it. You just gonna have to do a little bit more.
Right.
You're trading your life for money.
Right.
And you should be able to trade your art for money.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. And some people's art is maybe engineering. Some people's art is more on the creative side and it's actual art. But we are all like, I feel like creatives. It's just a lot of people don't have their third eye open. So they don't know what their gift is necessarily. You said like society doesn't do it on purpose, but I feel like a piece of society does do it on purpose, because this is what makes the world go round.
I think at the root of everything, everybody's trying to save somebody's life, right? Life, or the earth has like finite resources. Right. So there may be a resource over there, and those people own that land that could save somebody in my family.
Right.
I'm going to have to generate enough money to go get that. So in the course of that, I may develop some type of business, and along the way, like, hey, you can work for me, then those people develop, and it's like a big pyramid scheme. Everybody's just trying to.
True. Yeah. But within being on the pyramid scheme, like the food pyramid, when you think about healthy versus not healthy, or your carbs or your vegetables, everybody's not like a born leader. You're seeing the property over there and you're like, okay, I have to generate a certain amount of money so I can get that. Some people's brains don't think, damn, I have to generate. They're like, damn, it goes straight into worker mode. Yeah. So some people there's doers and there's workers, and it's like we need them both. I need the lady at Target to check me out, because how am I going to get my stuff?
Sure.
But I also need the entrepreneur that's going to come up with the products that I need that, I may be using on a day-to-day basis. So everybody has their place on this earth. I think that you just have to find what it is that, you're supposed to be doing and take enjoyment in it.
Yeah, I really hate the Jeff Bezos slander that I see on the internet, because, like, listen, first of all, I guess like maybe the impact hasn't reached certain parts of America yet, but it's coming. Like, you look at Atlanta, they have now, I can order something on Amazon and pay $10 and have it to my door in 3 hours.
Right.
Like, so there's that. And I see people who have work that are worker mode. You don't even have to go clock into a job. You can go, as long as you know how to drive, you can go pick up a truck, deliver these packages, and make $120 a day.
Right.
And that's all you do. You
Right.
can make your own schedule within it. These are, now you don't gotta go to, customer service. You don't even gotta see other people.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy because, like, just hearing you say that, I think about when we were kids and how our parents went to work. Everyone went to work.
Exactly.
Everyone clocked in. Everyone did their 40 hours. And now here we are, our generation, the same money that our parents were making on 40 hours, some people are doing half that time, 15 to 20. Some people, like you said, they're not even leaving their home. They may not have to speak to their boss on a day-to-day basis. And it's like, I can only imagine what it's going to look like within the next 20 years. Just times are changing.
That's why I like YouTube so much and all the creator platforms, Instagram. People hate Facebook and all of that. I think there's this point.
I don't think people hate Facebook. I think people hate the popularity contest. I think when people see that this person has 5,000 likes on a picture and this person only has 500, this person has 5, they validate themselves through likes or what they see other people liking. Yeah. I don't think that nobody necessarily hates it. They just may hate where their popularity is on it because they seek validation through numbers. Yeah. But sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I think it comes from a fundamental misunderstanding. Like, I was at a point where I was indifferent. Like, I don't care. This is a platform.
Right.
Then once you know a little bit, you could be like, why would they do this? But once you learn a little bit more, you'll realize, like, oh, that makes sense. That's why I like the business classes I took in college so much. I think everybody should go to college, whether you use degree or not, or whether you use it or not.
Okay.
Because when I learned that the reason this girl has 5 million likes or Instagram pushes her more is not because she is better than me. It's because people with money look at her more. So to keep them on the platform and advertise to them, we're going to push her profile.
Okay.
Right? So, like, if you have a girl that's very attractive, right? And it's guys out here who make millions of dollars in her comment section. Instagram's going to say, all of these dudes are interacting with this profile, and we sell, like, ads to them that are way more expensive than these people we show Target commercials to. And the only reason I knew that is because one day I sat on a plane. I'm next to this guy, and I can see out the corner of my eye his YouTube playing, right? And I'd be interested, like, what other people's ads look like. And I look, and it's like, yo, install this T-Mobile thing in your house starting at $3,000 a month. I said, what? Whoever, and I know how much T-Mobile would pay for that ad to be in front of that guy. I'm like,
he's doing
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. So that's why I tell everybody, listen, I don't care what you do. Talk about finance. Talk about things that rich people are going to look for.
Right.
Because that's how you.
Right, but it also goes back to be comfortable into who you are on this earth. True. Because it's like how you were indifferent and then you learned a little bit more and you were like, oh, okay, this might unlock this for me. So it's like, let me kind of not necessarily jump on this bandwagon, but let me get this coin. So it's like once you become comfortable in who you are and the place you're in life, and if you want to exceed or just stay, mediocre, that's going to make a major difference, and it's going to like shift something in your brain. And that's why it's like, just be comfortable with who you are. We're all different. That's the beautiful thing about the humans and us, is we are all different. There's no other you. So I think that once you just become more comfortable in yourself, you'll have a natural sense of confidence, and you won't necessarily be looking at other people, comparing yourself to them like, oh, well, she's better than me because she has 5,000 likes. It's like, no one's better. You should only be comparing yourself to who you were yesterday.
Exactly.
That's it.
Facts.
And
I think a lot of it too is like, and that's why I paid to take my ads off YouTube. It's not why I did it, but now I can understand how people fall into the traps they fall into. It's because at the end of the day, these companies, they just trying to make money. That's the
money sees money.
Exactly. So you just want the stuff that you want. That's it. And I think maybe it was because I had girlfriends. Because then I started
blame it on a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah,
blame it on a girlfriend.
Well, because I could have just sat in the house. We could have cooked, watched movies, chill. We could have did that.
Okay.
Occasionally go on vacations. We could have did that. But it's because they were so stuck in their phone, wanting things they don't really want. And then they would come to me like, oh, make me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's like, then after so long, and I'm like, make yourself happy, bro, because you are killing me.
That is no one's obligation to make
True.
you happy. You
Facts.
have to find happiness within yourself. And once you find happiness within yourself, like I feel like the little things start becoming more important to you.
True.
And you become less complacent with the things that everybody else likes, and you find your own whatever you like. But yeah, it is no one's job to make someone else happy. That is like your own job, your own obligation to yourself. And when other people do make you happy, that's just like the extra sprinkles on top. But it's just like, bro, it is not. That's not my job. That's not my job.
Yeah.
And that's unhealthy, and that's actually very toxic.
True. I see, but it's learning. You know
It's
what I'm
learning.
saying?
You live and you learn. You live and you learn. There's somebody out here going to be listening to this like, what you mean? Like, my man's supposed to make me happy. Yes, he is, but it is not his job to bring you happiness.
The experience y'all share together is supposed to
Exactly.
be a happy place for you.
Exactly.
That's what it's supposed to be. And like I started to realize, like I've never seen a guy, and you can say from a girl's perspective, I've never seen a dude say "happy wife, happy life" with a smile on his face. Never.
Yeah, they're saying it. They're saying it in a passive aggressive way, where it's just like happy wife, happy life, and like they don't really mean that shit. But I feel like that statement is very true. But I'm not saying that it's just their job to make their woman happy.
True.
Like, you could have a job that makes you happy. You going to the gym and getting your stress off can make you happy. You in your own passions can make you happy. Your kids can make you happy. There's a lot of different things, but it's no one's job in a relationship to just solely do that. And I think that's crazy when people expect those things of people. And it's also very ego driven and possessive. But we can get into that later.
Yeah, I think it just all stems from people like being shown things that they don't have and think they need them.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I need that to be happy. And a lot of people, really, all you gotta do is sit with yourself. Like, what do you like to do?
Right.
Some people want friends so much that they won't say no. Like, if my friends call me right now and be like, let's go get a section at Gold Room, I'm gonna say, nigga, no. Like,
I was like that when I was like 22 to 24. I was like wanting such a solid friend group that like when people wanted to go out, I would be willing to do it, even if it was places that I didn't want to go. There was sometimes situations where I just wanted to go out so bad and do like shit with other people that even if they didn't have the bread, I'm like, I'll pay for you. Like let's just go. But also, with that being said, that time frame, you know, your frontal lobe doesn't really develop until you're 25. So it's like these things are all lessons within life that you learn as you grow. Because as you grow, you realize, damn, no, I have to make myself happy. Like when you're 17, when you're 11, when you're 8, you don't know these things. You just think, oh, okay, mom and dad gave me video games, so like I'm happy because they're giving me the things that I want. Oh, 17, oh, I'm in a great relationship. This makes me happy because he makes me happy. But I think as you grow and as life keeps lifing, you realize certain things and your brain starts to like unlock certain things and it discovers different things and you realize, damn, life is crazy.
Yeah.
But like it's a gift. Like there's so many people dead in the ground that would love to be alive right now. So it's like you have to seize the moment, seize the day, do what you can, but like also don't beat yourself up because every day is not going to be happy as fuck.
Yeah. I think it can be.
It can be if your way of thinking is different. If you're naturally a positive thinker, your day is going to be happy. If you're doing certain things, like I think they said that there's like 7 things that you could do that's going to put you ahead of people that make you happy. One of those things is like exercise, waking up, reading every day, meditating. So it's like if you're already taking time to do those things to self-care for yourself, you are going to be in a different mind state.
True.
When you train your brain to think more in a positive way, yeah, like even when bad things happen, you're like, okay, what am I learning right now? But when you're naturally a negative Nancy and you don't even realize you're negative, that's the dangerous part, like when you don't realize you're negative. But I think that when your brain is naturally in a negative space, you're just like always complaining or you're always like, damn, this happened, so fuck. But it's like everything in life is a lesson. Everything in life is teachable. Everything in life isn't L's. But even within those L's, like no one cares when you're like in a book, when you do like a book about yourself, no one cares about like all the success. They care about all the nasty shit that happened during the time that got you to the place that you're at. So I just feel like, you know, it's everything is training your brain. And as you grow,
that is?
because we all struggle and we all want success. And I think that when you figure out that the person that has success or the millionaire that you're inspiring to be like, when they have the same struggles you do, it makes it more relatable. And you're like, well, damn, if they did it, I can do it. Damn, they didn't know how to pay their rent 1 month, and I'm in that situation now. So if they were there and they're here now, it's anything is possible, and it's possible for me as well. So I think that struggle is more relatable than success.
I agree. But I think, like, I've never been somebody who, like, looked at other people and be like, did they struggle too? Could I?
Well, damn, Keith, everybody ain't gonna be the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't know these things.
But,
like,
I don't say that to say that, though. I say that I don't think most people were started like that, though.
Right.
I feel like along the line, they felt like life was happening to them, and they weren't living life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But it also stems from, like, you know, you got to look at, like, let's say you're watching like a murder mystery or something like that. Sometimes they break down the childhood. Sometimes they break down like the adolescence, like certain stages in their life that got them to this point. So it's like some people have really successful parents and they instill that in them very young. Some people have the exact opposite. Where they don't have any support or successful parents, but that also triggers them to be like, I don't want this for myself. And then, you know, some people, monkey see, monkey do. So we are products of our environment sometimes. So some people, they have to either get themselves up out of the dirt, or some people were never in dirt. So it also depends on, I feel like, not just like your lifestyle changes or lifestyle habits that you create for yourself as an adult, but as a child too. Like, you know, we go through things. I had a friend that said something very like prominent. He was just like, we're all barely making it out of childhood alive. And I think that's so real, because that is like the one area of your life that sticks with you forever. Forever.
Because I think it's the one part of your life where a whole lot of things are happening to you that you don't realize yet.
Or understand.
Yeah. And I think but do you think it's better to, I think like there's a point in your teenage years where you start to realize what's happening, and then it starts to affect you. But like all these things have always been happening to you. Right. You just didn't care before.
Because you didn't have to. Because when you were 8, really all you had to do was go to school and get good grades. True, yeah. You know? And it's just like, as you grow, like, and life becomes more serious, and kids get meaner because you don't have the designer shoes on, or you don't have the J's, or you're not rocking this, or you're not rocking that. It's like, whoa, yeah, it didn't matter in first grade when I had the Shacks, but like if I'm 16 wearing this kind of shit, people are gonna make fun of me. So it's just like, yeah, it was already happening, but we didn't have to care about those things, because some people at 16, they're going home, they're making their own food, they're responsible for their dinner. And it's like at 8, like you can't even be by a stove just yet.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. So CPS, chill out. You know
Sorry.
But nah, I think like it comes to the point where, because I was a person like, bro, I remember going to school. People used to roast me all the time, like, all you wear is basketball shorts, blah, blah, blah.
No, you guys.
Yo.
They did. And he wore jeans one time,
exactly.
And we went crazy because Keith had on jeans. Like, nah, basketball shorts were his thing. They were. Well, I actually looked on our Facebook earlier because we were linking, and there was one point in time we were all roasting each other, everybody.
Facts.
They tagged me in some like Asian rice rolls. Because I look Asian and black. So they tagged me in that. Keith was actually tagged in like some khaki shorts. Yeah. And they were like, he upgraded his thing. He ain't got basketball shorts on, they khakis today. So it's like shorts was his shit.
Yeah. But people don't understand. One,
they didn't even know what your situation was like. Not saying you had a situation, but it's like you don't.
I'm about to tell you. So look. So like
y'all get for making fun of my nigga right here.
Exactly.
So make him feel bad.
My mom used to take us to JCPenney's, right? Beginning of school shopping. She used to say like, yo, y'all got $50. Now $50 today, that's one pair of anything, right?
Yeah,
but
that's one shirt.
Like JCPenney's had graphic tees.
Yeah.
And I've always been, I'm going to get the best out of whatever situation I'm in.
Right. You're going to get the best bang for your buck. You're going to make them $50 stretch.
Exactly. So I could either go in here to try to impress people I don't care about. Okay. They don't care about me.
But see, that's a shout out to you and your upbringing and the brain that you were born with, that you never really gave a fuck about what other people thought about you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what, but thank you. And I think I learned that because like I grew up in a neighborhood where like the people who were running around the neighborhood back when, because I really just wanted to get out of my house. I'll get into like why I did that like later on.
We get into the childhood. Okay, yeah. I got a story too.
Okay, we can just jump into it. Like I remember, like I used to wake up and this is all over finances, right? Like, so I used to wake up at night and I used to hear my parents arguing. I used to like, please shut up, please. Like, I used to be to this day they don't know. I used to wake because my brother used to sleep through it. My other brother like lived downstairs and my sister was out the house already.
Now, what age group were you as far as like oldest?
This is like 5. Oh, I'm it's my sister.
Okay.
Then my older brother, then me, then my little brother.
Okay.
So I used to wake up like, yo, I am going to dome myself. Like, if y'all don't be quiet.
Yeah.
Bro. So I used to just want to be out the house because it was just conflict, like all the time. So I would be outside. But outside there were older kids, right? So I'm 7. My mom would let me go to like the basketball goal around the corner. So like all the teenagers, middle schoolers, they would come to that basketball goal. So I'm being raised around them. I'm getting roasted. I'm fighting. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Because like I'd rather go through this than be there.
Yeah, so you got your tough skin early.
Yeah, 100%. And then my brother has like a disability. So like we always had to take care of him. So like outside was the only time I didn't have responsibilities.
That was your real outlet.
Yeah, because like people talk about having kids and like, oh, she's 15, she had a kid, blah, blah. I feel like I've been raising kids since the day I was born. Like, so like I would be out there, people would roast, and that's how I care. Like, yo, the people who talk about me, they don't really hate me. They're just talking, right? So, and then I developed my ability to roast people back.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But I had to learn how to wean off of that and learn where to, because like I can handle things because of my upbringing that other people can't. So
that's deep.
I never forget this girl. If I ever see her, I'm gonna apologize to her in person, right? But she cried one day, and I was like, I didn't mean like that, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's not who I am. I'm not somebody who like sets out to hurt people. So that's when I started to learn like there's a gauge. But if you try to disrespect me, there's no limit.
So back to the $50 that you was trying to make stretch.
Oh yeah, so I would go there and they had they had reversible basketball shorts.
Woo!
You know
I know he got 2 pair of those.
Exactly.
That's really 4.
So that's 4 pair, and then mad graphic tees, and that's it. I would make that, and then like we would get 1 pair of shoes for like the year. Yeah. So I always pick black. You know what I'm saying?
Because it goes with everything. Okay.
So that's how I stretch my 50. So I just got accustomed to wearing basketball shorts, and like it was winter, still basketball shorts. Yeah. Because like sweatpants is like $30, $24. Like
the material is a lot.
Exactly.
You know, it's a lot more. I get it.
My body was already conditioned to go through the winter because like in my head, I'm going from the front door to the bus, from the bus to the school. Once I get to school, I'm fine. Straight,
yeah.
And I'm going from back home, so it's all good.
So it didn't bother you at all when people would make fun of you based off of like just your clothes, or it didn't? You was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, because like you need your clothes to be somebody. I don't. Ooh. I hang around all the same people you hang around. Like, we all hang around the same people.
Yes.
And my friends don't do the things that your friends do to you. I won't allow that. You allow people to treat you this way, that way. When people start acting like that, I remove myself, and I have a friend group over there. Right. I have a friend group over there, and when they start acting up, I'm over there, and that's how I live my life.
You were very much like with the shits, like you would let the roasting happen, you would roast back, but like you were never like hurt over the shit. Yeah. I will say that. Like you were fine. You held your own, you know, because like niggas was woo with the roasting. Like it was bad. Not like he's gonna go hurt himself at home bad, but it was innocent to a certain degree. But I mean, not those people want to get on your podcast.
Yeah, for sure. and what's crazy is like
them tables always turn, man.
They always do.
They always do.
You just gotta be patient. You know what I'm saying? Do the right thing in life, and eventually the right thing will happen to you. And I think a lot of it was like a lot of dudes roasting came from like girls' perspective of them. And it would be so funny that like all of the dudes that oh, you can't wear clothes, these girls don't like you, blah blah blah. When it came to the weekend and they're chilling in a meat factory at the crib, they'll be like, yo, you got some girls that you can call over? Oh. And I wasn't like a thought, like I wasn't like having sex with these girls, but like the girls who hang out with me, for me, they not gonna mess with y'all because y'all don't have the character for them.
Right. And you were really funny, and it's just like people, whether you're a female, male, they love to laugh because when
Yeah.
you're laughing, you're smiling. So it's just like, it's a good time versus, damn, I don't have on these nice sneakers. Like, is he going to roast me because like, I don't like my fit isn't up to par. So it's just like, you
Yeah.
want to be around people that make you feel good, not necessarily judged or like, you know, you're on America's Next Top Model when really we're here to get an education. Childhood though, so mine was a little bit different than yours. I was raised by my grandparents, so by the time, like, let's say kindergarten, everybody's parents is what, like in their 30s, maybe their 20s. My parents
Yeah.
were like 55.
Dang.
Yeah, because they were my grandparents. But that comes with like the balance of that is I get everything I want because their shit's together.
Yeah.
They have their finances. They've been at their jobs very long. So, you know, we lived in a cul-de-sac, and we were on the cul-de-sac because we were one of the biggest houses. And it was just like, I learned Black excellence very early on just because like my grandparents had a lot of things. But there was a downside to living with my grandparents because it's like, okay, well, where are your parents? So one was incarcerated, and then the other one like died when I was 5. So I feel like by the time I got to high school and I had like older parents, it wasn't fun because, you know, they're very old school. No, you can't stay out late. No, you're not going to this party because kids be having sex. So it's like school was my outlet. How outside was like an outlet for you. School was an outlet for me because I got to have fun. I got to be myself. I got to laugh. And when I would go back home, it was like Cinderella. Like, you're not going outside. You're not doing this. You're not doing that.
That's how my house was too, bro.
Yeah, it was not fun for me at all. So like going to school was the time that I got to have fun. I wasn't really like a popular kid, but I was cool with everybody. I didn't have like the best fits, but like my fits were like average. They was alright. So it's like kids weren't really making fun of me, but I was like that student that like if I see you getting made fun of, like I don't like that shit. Like I'm gonna beat the bully up. Like I'm gonna see what your insecurities are, and then I'm coming for you, cutthroat.
Twin.
Like I don't like seeing people be mean. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And people would say that I was mean. I think it's just because I'm like a little bit naturally aggressive and we're in the South, so people can't really handle that. But I don't like seeing people get their feelings hurt. I don't like other people being mean because when I go home, people are mean to me.
Yeah.
And I know how that feels. And it's just like, it doesn't feel good. So I, as a kid, you know, wanted to like help other people, fix other people, make them laugh, make them feel good. Because you don't know what it's like when people go home. Because when I go home, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that just goes to show like character and like look at you now, like, you know,
Yeah.
we ain't stealing, we ain't scammers.
Exactly. Boy. People,
Woo!
I just be like, and I learned this lesson when I had a roommate, right? And I had a roommate, and we had another roommate move in, and his girlfriend was on the way to the house, but like I had to go to Blue Flame because this guy and his girl, they were doing their honeymoon party there, and he wanted me to record and make a video for them.
Okay.
So we go there, and he's moving his stuff in, and he says, yo, such and such is going to be here in a little bit, let her in, because he didn't give her a key yet.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, all right, bet. When she gets here, we'll just play Fortnite till y'all get back.
Okay.
And he says, no, y'all ain't going to be playing no game, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if this is your friend, that you're moving into a crib that you have your girlfriend staying at, why do you treat him like this, right? And then time went on. Now, I had been this person's friend for a minute. And I had seen things, but I never really paid attention.
Okay.
Because it was like,
We always ignore the red flags.
Exactly. And what I realized is the reason you be treating people like this is because you be doing people like this. Like, and that's what people always talk about, like heaven and hell. You know what I'm saying? I think like I'm in heaven right now because like I don't be looking over my shoulder for people to do bad things to me because
You're not giving out that energy. Yeah.
I project myself on other people, and I believe like I have my best interest in heart, and I have other people's best interest in heart. That's how I got into a lot of bad situations. But the reason why you like can't sleep at night, you up checking on your girlfriend's location. The reason you do this is because like if the reins were let up on you, you would be out here doing her any type of way. And I had to learn that over time. So like when he did that, once I look back at like conversations we had where he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was my homie's girl, but then I had sex with her after they broke up. I'm like, that's why.
That's why you feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like the cheating scandal. It's like you feel like you're getting cheated on because that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
So I mean, you're always gonna give your whatever you put out, you're gonna get back like 10 times. So
Yeah. That's why
sucks to suck.
I don't think I could date a girl who doesn't know me though. Like that doesn't know me and other relationships. Because every girl could say, there's no girl that went to Mountain View that could say she
Damn,
did
you
anything
didn't
with
put
me.
the high school out there.
Well,
I'm just playing.
you know what I'm saying? There's no girl who went to Mountain View that could say she thinks I'm a cheater. Because all of y'all went to school with me. My girlfriend didn't even go to the school. Right? And none of y'all can say anything happened between me and y'all.
Well,
So-
none of them could say anything about me because I didn't date niggas that went to my school.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were in Gwinnett, so what do they call? Yeah, shout out to the North Side. But
You in the city now.
I know we in the city now. You know, got away from the burbs. But I didn't like dating dudes from my school. One, I like my space. Two, you're not gonna be acting crazy or like embarrassing me, and everybody knows about it. And it's like I liked the East Side niggas at that time. You know what I mean? Like I liked dudes that, you know, had a little bit more, you know, character, maybe, you know, a little rough around the edges. But I did date one guy. I don't know if you remember. Can I say his name?
You can if you want
Okay,
to.
yeah, remember I dated Jonathan, like the Jehovah's Witness?
I don't know that. I do?
I don't know. He went to Berkmar and then like
No, I don't
he was one of those Berkmar students. Okay, well, I dated one guy for like a little while, maybe like 2-3 months. And the reason why I said I don't date niggas from my school, he proved me right because like as soon as we broke up, he was already with someone else. And it was just like, it looked like a scandal. Not that I gave a fuck. But it kind of looked a little scandalous because it's like, yo, you was just with Disha, now you with Shorty, which makes it seem like you was already doing shit with this girl, which you probably were. But I feel you, like my reputation's solid. Like it really is. Not a lot of people can even say they dated me, let alone like really know what I'm like. Yeah. But you're saying like you want your girls to know like who you are for real.
Yeah, because I've had girls try to talk to me like since I've been single, and they'll tell me I don't believe it. Like there's got to be like I'm not, because the reason why I think one of the girls I dated was so easily able to manipulate me to do certain things is because I don't know if she did this purposely or it was just like this is how things happen. Was prove it. Like I'm one of them people. I'm competitive, bro. Like so, like if you don't believe it, I'm gonna make you believe it.
Okay.
Like one of them type of things. So, she would get me to do things I wouldn't normally do to prove, like, bro, I'm telling you, this is what it is. Like sometimes you over-explain stuff. Sometimes you bring them to places they might not want to be. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm still going. At the end of the day, but I would do this to comfort, like whatever it is. And I just don't think that's not a hurdle. I think I put on my story the other day. I was like, bro, listen, you are not here to make nobody a believer in you. If they don't believe it, move on, bro. And that was a lesson I got from there. So, yeah. But that's why I need somebody to know
who you are.
Because my record is spotless. Like, not even close. Nobody can say, like, yo, I was even in compromising positions with girls and people DMs looking crazy. Like, it's never happened. Because, like, if I'm in a relationship, my looking for somebody radar is dead. No batteries in it.
Okay.
Right? Like, so I'm just, like, living life. And even when I talk to people, looking back, there were some girls who, like, now you were trying to talk to me, but I didn't even notice because I didn't care. So,
see, I'm a little bit different. I want someone to know me, yes, but it's I can be a little difficult to get to know. There's not a lot of people that I've liked. So it's like a rare feeling when I like somebody. Yeah. So I feel like for me, I do better when like we were friends first, because now you know my personality. Yeah. You know what I like, what I don't like. As a friend. So for me, like when a guy doesn't really like know me and he's like trying to get to know me, he may think that I'm saying things aggressively or I'm like, I don't know. I think that for me in particular, it just works better if you've already kind of knew who I was. But that's like in a perfect world.
Sometimes. You wanna know why though?
Why?
Because people only act like they truly are when they think you're not paying attention. So like if a dude is like most people, I don't know about you, but most girls or most dudes, when you approach them and attempts to talk to them, they're gonna show you the best version of them if they want you to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you get into a relationship, some of them walls start to drop. You start to see behind it, and you're like, this ain't who you are
Right.
for real. So that's why.
I feel like you will see more layers of me as a friend, and from a friend standpoint, I'm more open as a friend than I am as like somebody that you're trying to date. Like I'm a little bit more closed off. I'm kind of a little shy, believe it or not. Like I don't really want to know. I don't really know if I want to show this person who I am. Like, am I going to waste time opening up to the wrong person?
Yeah.
Probably stemming from like childhood stuff.
For sure.
Shout out to therapy. But I just think that when someone is already your friend, you're already a little bit more comfortable than you would be like just getting to know a guy. Because in my brain, how it works, I'm like, damn, am I allowed to say this? Because like, is he gonna take it this way? You know, he doesn't really know me like that, so it's like I don't want to come off intimidating. Like I've been on a date and I've taken a guy to Cheetah because it's right up the street from where I live. It's a strip club, but like a chill spot.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, and we're taking shots, and I'm like, I can drink. Not because I can, like I drink, but like my tolerance is pretty high.
Yeah.
So we're on like shot 2 and I don't feel nothing. And I can tell he's kind of like, whew, alcohol. And then I'm like, let's do another shot. And he's like trying to keep up with me because I'm asking for another shot. And it's just like,
That's a red flag. Be yourself.
Exactly. And it's hard for some people to do that. And I don't know why. I
I think it's just to fit in. Like I'll tell, like I have friends. Shout out my homie Sniper Jones, right? He'll go out with people. Oh, I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they got champagne, he might drink it. But other than that, I'm straight. I don't drink. Right? I think people are just trying to keep up. I'm to the point now where like I think I had like one drink like this whole year because I just wanted to focus on me. And I found shrooms, so I'm probably never going back to.
I love that you said that. Shout out to the medicine,
Facts.
to the psychedelics. That is like real medicine. Those things are like magic.
Facts.
You literally have so many aha moments, and it's like I think that's maybe what unlocked my brain to become a freer thinker than I already was doing shrooms. But damn, when that shit hits your stomach, it's like, oh. Yeah. It's about to happen. Because, you have to, like, kind of be guided. Not saying that you need, like, a shaman or anything, but I would say, like...
You got to be a good person to take it. I'll say that. If you have
You don't. But if you have bad intentions, you may not feel the best when you're on those shrooms.
Exactly.
Because it's not like you, like, hallucinate and you see deers flying or shit like that. But, like... I hear like the trees talking.
Exactly.
I close my eyes. I see colors I've never seen in my life, but it's like I'm a happy kind of bitch. So it's like, of course, these things are gonna be like in my mind when I close my eyes. But if you aren't a good person, I think a lot of the stuff that you have hidden or buried is gonna come out, and you might low key lose your shit when you're on shrooms. Because you're going to lose your shit. But, like, I lose it in such a great way.
Yeah, I do, too. I think, like, what shrooms do is, like, because I watched this documentary on it, and they were basically saying, like fungus is the brain of the earth. Like, it's wired underground just like our brain is wired, like, with neurons and stuff.
Right.
And what our brain does is try to keep us alive, just like shrooms would be for the earth. And your body feels the stress, the pain, everything your body goes through, and it tries to fix it, right? What shrooms do, I think it relaxes your body enough for your brain to say, look, you're okay. Think about these things now. Stop trying to save the body and fix yourself.
Yes, and things will come up that maybe that you struggled with, like as a child. The first 2 times I had shrooms, I thought like it didn't work because I was crying. And I was just... Things that, you have buried or you try to suppress will definitely come out, and it is real medicine. I know people are afraid of them because society tells you to be afraid of them. They're drugs, but it's like these are natural things that no matter what happens in life, you cannot get rid of.
Yeah.
Like the pills, the Percocets, the Hydros, the Adderall, that to me is real drugs.
Yeah.
Like those things are real poison. Not saying that it's not helping whoever needs them, but like there's so many different avenues and things that you could take that would make you feel better. Shrooms, even marijuana. Like, I think that people overuse marijuana. Like, let's say, you're smoking and you get so high, you're high as fuck that you're slumped, you fall asleep. Like, that's over medicating. Like you're not, that's not what it's supposed to do for you. Now, if you want it to do that, it can, but it's just like same with the shrooms. Like I don't do them all the time because it's such a feeling that when you do take, I want to get what I'm supposed to get out of it. So it's like, it's not something I'm doing every 3 days.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe like every 3 months for me, just because it's so impactful.
Yeah.
And the high, you go through different highs throughout the journey, and it lasts anywhere from like 6 to 9 hours.
Yeah, I like doing them with people.
Yes,
because
me too.
like
I've never done them by myself.
for real.
No.
I went to New York, right, with my friend, and we went to like this. It's called like Smorgasbord. It's like a whole bunch of like different like food truck, but they're not trucks. They're just like
It's like a little setup.
Yeah, a little setup. And we go there and we walk out and there's these people. They're selling like shroom chocolate. So we get
The best way to eat them.
Yeah, so
Because they're nasty. They are nasty.
True.
Even if you like mushrooms, ugh.
Yeah. So we go back to her apartment, and like the day goes by, the next day comes up, and she's like, "This is like 10 hours before my flight," and I'm like,
That you took shrooms? Oh.
I'm also like a live on the edge. I trust.
Oh, hella spontaneous.
Yeah, I trust my brain.
Yeah.
Like because a lot of people, I think they panic because they start to feel like an imbalance in things. I'm one of them people like, just throw me in it. I'm gonna figure out how to get out the fire. Right. So we take it. We watch Spiderhead on Netflix. Crazy movie. Like so, like halfway through the movie, she's like, "Do you see the colors on their face?"
Yes. Same. I think that the first time, or maybe like around the third time that I took it, first 2 times I was crying, but like the third time I took it, oh my God, I finally took enough, and getting up and trying to walk.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Are the walls closing in on me? Oh my God. I tried to go out to eat. I went to one of the little spots here in Midtown, and me and my friend were just like laughing, can't even eat the food. I have to walk out because I'm losing my shit. But like, how did you get on the plane? Because I can't keep still when I'm shrooming.
Bro, what was crazy is like
I would have been up and down the aisle. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like I don't think I would have been able to handle that. And not because like I'm like panicking, but it's like I'm having so much fun that like I can't keep still.
Yeah, I don't think, maybe it was more than 10 hours. I think that was probably, my flight was at 10.
Okay.
I think it was like 2 o'clock, like 1 o'clock, something like that. So, like, but I also take edibles before I go on flights.
Oh,
like,
so you can relax?
Yeah, not so I can relax. It's just a better feeling. Like, it's easier to sleep and like block out everybody else.
Yeah, because every time I get on a plane, I'm like, this might be it. Especially when you have to realize not only is your life in someone else's hands, but you're in the air, and if something bad happens, we are all dying.
But see, I think that's like your brain playing tricks on you.
It's not, because it don't do that to me. But I'm telling you, like, it's just like when that turbulence starts kicking in, I'm like, this might be it, nigga. Like, woo, don't have me like Kobe. Sorry, but it's just like I'm not afraid of flying. I like to fly. I love the convenience of it, but it's just like, after more than 2 hours, I'm like, come on, bro.
So Will Smith, he said, like, you seen his thing about fear when he was like, I was scared to jump out the
plane. Mm-hmm.
And what did he say? You remember?
No.
He said, my fear was all an illusion. It wasn't real. Like, so once I jumped, I realized everything I thought was going to happen isn't really going to happen. So when he said that, the same thing with the plane. You probably have no problem getting in a car or an Uber. You have much higher chance of dying.
No, not true. Because when I'm in an Uber, I'm like, protect me, because this might be I'm just worst case scenario person. It's like when I'm in parking garages, I'm like, shit, like which way am I gonna go if somebody, because this is how people get kidnapped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if a nigga trying to, just grab me up, scoop me, like where am I gonna scream? Where am I gonna run? When I'm in Ubers, I'm like, this might be one of those I hope I'm not on the news later tonight.
Yeah, dang, that's crazy.
I always think like, don't let your guard down, because that's the time you get caught slipping.
But see, I think that's what shrooms taught me though. Like a lot of people live like that. Don't let your guard down. But like at the end of the day, when you think back as a kid, one, you're the most vulnerable when you was a kid. It's way easier to snatch up a kid than a grown adult.
Right.
And they know less. But you made it through so much.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You was like, I don't know. your particular situation, but I was in the hood. I was around people with guns. I was around people who robbers and stealers and killers, all right, as a child. So like I was fine because that's not who I didn't dip into their world. Our worlds were aligned in some way, but their world was totally different than mine. So like when I started to take shrooms, I realized like, bro, what are you worried about? Like I used to when I used to link with people, because I know people who line people, especially like in this line of work. But now I'm just like, listen, when I get there, whatever happens,
I'm very much okay with, and my thought process, even with being a low-key worrywart, it's just like, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it's like, even if I do get snatched up in this Uber, like, this was ultimately my destiny. But I feel like
I should worry a little bit.
No, I know I ain't going out like that. Like, even when I'm on a plane and I get a little worried because the turbulence, it's just like, that's just not going to be my ending story. Like, I'm not going to die on a plane. I'm not going to die in an Uber. Like, I just know, again, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And I think I will be, well off in my 80s or 90s, hopefully on my bed.
I don't want to live to 80 or 90.
Oh, my God, why?
It's been
I always wonder why people say stuff like that, because I used to fear death, and I would be like, if I could live forever like a vampire, I would want to. And I think I used to fear death because of so much of it being like unknown and not knowing what happens afterwards. But again, taking the shrooms and seeing things and feeling things, I know that when I die, like my soul is still going to live on and float and go everywhere that it couldn't while I was in this human form. But I think that death was just so scary to me before, just because I didn't know what was going to happen. Have you ever had surgery and been put to sleep?
No, I got to get my wisdom tooth taken out, though. So
you're going to be under anesthesia? So it's really weird when you're forced to sleep like that, because you don't dream and you won't remember it. You're either dead because they fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do they know that they're dead because they went to go get a procedure done? Or you wake up in the recovery room. Like, that's all that happens. You will never, ever, ever dream on anesthesia. You are just asleep, and then you're in the recovery room, or you're not.
You know who else uses anesthesia? Let me not say this because I don't need the smoke. All I'm going to say is there are... all medicine comes from natural things, right? So a lot of like Tylenol, what are those considered?
Advil.
Yeah, what are those considered? There's a name for them. But anyway, like ibuprofen, all of that, those are derived from shrooms, like the effects, right? So even anesthesia was derived from something that can naturally be made in this world. And this girl was telling me that she's from a country where people practice things like that, where they could like make somebody's brain detach from their body.
Okay.
They're basically turned into a zombie after that.
Oh, wow.
And
can they get their brain back afterwards?
Well, she said they have a very big epidemic of people getting buried alive.
Oh.
It's because their body no longer thinks like it has a brain. They die of natural causes. They bury them, and then by time like their brain and their body reattach to each other, they're in the
ground.
Yeah.
Now, see, sleep paralysis is like that.
For real?
That's what it feels like.
Have you had it before?
Yes, I have. It feels like you were being buried alive. So I took, a couple psychology courses back in school, and there's like different stages of sleep, and like I think it's like 1 through 4, and your brain is like at a level 2, maybe 3, but your body is fully asleep. Like your body's dead. Your body is done. It's not able to move, because when you have sleep paralysis, there's times where your brain's going to go into that stage of sleep paralysis, and you'll try to like shake yourself just because you're like, oh no, because that shit does not feel good. And I promise you're not even moving. You feel like you're doing this, it may just be a little of this, but sleep paralysis feels like you're being buried alive. It feels like a ton of bricks are on your chest and you can't move, you can't breathe. And I mean, that's so crazy, because like that's what that feels like. And by the time you wake up, you're just like, whew, okay, that was a lot. So like that is actually like crazy to me, because like there's things out here, in the United States that makes you that just I don't wish sleep paralysis on anybody. I think it happens, or it comes with like when you're extremely stressed out, your brain isn't able to relax. So your body is, but your brain doesn't. And it's like, everything's connected, mind, body, and soul. So I think when you're extremely stressed out, it can have you experiencing those type of things. I don't know what else causes sleep paralysis, but I've definitely felt it a few times, and it sucks.
I could imagine, bro.
It
Like,
sucks.
but see, I think all that comes from is like, here's my thing. I think spirituality, religion, science, they're all explaining the same thing with different words.
Exactly. Right? I think so too.
So
I think so too.
When people say like I'm empathetic or like, you know what I'm saying, or all of these terms, what shrooms taught me is like all the energy that exists, you can feel it all. Mm-hmm. But your body is trying to decipher which energy we should feel, which energy we shouldn't feel, so we can keep this vessel alive because your brain thinks it needs to stay alive, right? And I think like sleep paralysis, I don't know like the science behind it, but like I can only imagine like even when we dream, I think sometimes we're seeing things that either has happened, but we're putting ourselves into that situation, things that could happen or are going to happen. And like the universe or whatever already knows it's going to happen.
Right.
And that's just our body like feeling that thing.
So then how do you feel about deja vu? That's when you're in a scenario and you're like, holy shit, this has already happened. Like, I've already done all this. Like, this, oh my God. So how do you feel about that?
I think it's real. But I think that goes back into like the energy that you feel already knows what's going to happen. So sometimes it may suppress that. And when you get there, there's some remnants of it. And it's like, have I been here before? Did this actually, it's because like really your body suppressed that. So your brain wouldn't. It's like when people say, like, do you think the government's hiding stuff? It's not that the government, yes, but you couldn't handle half the things if you knew, right?
That's why they don't tell us about the aliens or the mermaids because, like, look how we handled COVID.
Exactly. Exactly. I think COVID really taught me, like, people are trapped.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And people can be easily manipulated. Not saying that COVID wasn't real or anything like that, but even when it hit, I was like, if these are our last days, I'm not living my last days like this, getting a whole bunch of milk that's going to expire in 3 weeks, or staying so built up in my house, like cooped up in the house that like I'm not able to experience life anymore. But I just it's sad, you know, like seeing how some people think and how they're able to be either easily manipulated or they need to be told what to do.
Yeah. I think there's a couple facets to that conversation. One, America's a big place. Every place don't look like this, right? So there may be certain precautions Atlanta needs to take that Kentucky might not need to take.
Right.
Like y'all may not need, but when people talk, you have to talk what's in the best interest of the most people.
Of the masses.
Exactly. So when people say, listen, these are the guidelines we're putting out, well, most people do live in major cities. New York, LA, Atlanta, Houston. This is how y'all should act, all right? If you live in West Bumblefuck, Alabama, y'all are going to be fine, all right? Because only one person leaves y'all county probably a month.
Right.
The virus not making it to y'all. But even like the science behind the virus, like that's how what led me to believe like people don't really look into stuff because one
and
like,
people are nasty because why weren't you already washing your hands?
True. Yeah. But I learned that they were already trying to develop the vaccine for COVID. So what they do is bats have the highest immune. This is where the theory of vampires comes from. And this is what taught me like all the folk tales and stuff that we hear, they're just misinterpretations of the people who are like connected to knowing. Is bats, the reason they have the highest immune system is because they live in such close quarters and they live in damp places where viruses are able to spread faster. So that's why a lot of the viruses that infect humans that are the most transmittable come from bats because their body was able to fight it. When that bat leaves that ecosystem and finds its way to a human, it's because we have no equipment to fight that until we're exposed to it. And what they do is like they try to take the virus out the bat in a lab, heighten it, make it more transmittable so they can put it in like rats and all of that stuff, and we can figure out how we can fix this before it gets to humans.
Yeah. You think that's how it got out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was bound to happen anyway. There's gonna be more COVIDs because like
Absolutely. Because when you look at the back of the Lysol bottle, before COVID-19 even hit, it was already on the back of the Lysol bottle. Monkeypox was a thing that already existed.
Exactly.
Just because it's like just now coming out and we're just now getting it as humans doesn't mean like it hasn't already been out there. They say monkeypox is like an extension of chickenpox.
yeah.
That's why like it's the sores and it looks like the way it does.
You know what else is what else chickenpox is a extension of?
What?
All right, listen, guys. There are actually they teach you in school. There's 2 types of this thing, right? But there's actually 6. And chickenpox is what you know what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
So chickenpox is of the family of herpes, and the fact that you say monkeypox is part of that, that just like
Solidifies
it's
the germs out here.
yeah.
Be careful. Wrap it up.
Yup.
Oof.
Yeah, that's tough. And I learned about, I just be watching information about stuff. Like I learned a lot about the government during COVID because I just researched, like in real research, not YouTube.
Right.
You know
Not not just like social media sites.
Yeah, not just social media, like scholars. Like, and what I learned, I learned that like the reason like herpes is so hard to cure is because it, like the virus like finds its way to the base of your spine.
Ooh.
And they can't make medicine that could get to the base of your spine without affecting the body. And that's why it's like this thing. So, and then I learned the chicken pox. I was like, yo.
Have you ever caught an STD?
Luckily.
I mean,
I've only had, I've had 2 girlfriends in my adult life, but I only slept with like 4 people as an adult.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Counting bodies still.
Yeah.
I mean, me
because it
too.
fit
I'm still on both hands, bro. So it's just like I get it. I get it.
I'm on one hand, you know what I'm saying? Tight beat. But yeah, so luckily that's been my reality. I've been with people who've like caught things in prior relationships though. And that's unfortunate. But see, that's the cost of like, that's why I'm very cautious about like who
you mess with or who you allow to be inside of your body. Like that's a big thing. Because you know, energy is transferable for sure. And I think the less you do, and this is not knocking people that you know do whatever they do, but I feel like the less you sleep with people, the more you value yourself and your body, and you're like more particular on like who you're gonna let into your space like that. Just like with virginity, I feel like the longer you keep it, the more you're like, I'm not just giving this shit to anybody. Or the like, there's kids here now that are having like sex at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then there's kids that have sex at like 16. And I feel like that's, you know, kind of a more acceptable age.
Yeah.
But I still feel like you don't know shit at 16.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't lose my virginity until I was like 19, like already done with high school. And like while I was in high school, it was like me and one other girl, we were like the only virgins. And we would hear all these other crazy stories about like, yeah, after I slept with him, he broke up with me, or it hurt so bad and I bled, or this happened and that happened. And I was just like, there's no fucking way I'm doing this shit with none of y'all niggas. There's no fucking way I'm going through this pain and you're not going to care about me afterwards. So it's just, I'm saying that from my own personal experience. I feel like the longer you wait or the less people you encounter, you don't want to just give up your exclusivity to just anybody.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think that just like shrooms can heal your body, I feel like there's like a lot of healing factors in sex also.
Yeah, it gets rid of headaches.
But I feel like what happens though is sex is one of the first drugs people are exposed to, right? Something that heals your body that you can become addicted to. And I feel like what happens is people have sex at a young age, realize there's trauma or stress leaving my body when I do this, and they want to keep
do it more.
Yeah, and not realizing you could heal all of that trauma and have better encounters. And sometimes, like, when you know how to find those people who have healed their own trauma, I don't want to. That's why people love like having sex with crazy girls. It's because like, yo, I can just release all of my trauma into this. That's how you get toxic relationships.
Ooh.
It's because like we heightened each other's trauma and we release it together.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, I'm not. No,
You're not trying to trauma bond.
No, bruh. Look, let's get through our trauma with words, because I feel like the experiences you have not having traumatic sex is way better.
Right.
So.
And then for some people, it's the exact opposite. Like sex is traumatic for them.
Oh wow, yeah, true.
Some people, they have really traumatic sex. They don't like having sex because it's traumatic. They may have gone through something where they were like maybe molested when they were younger, or, you know, someone took advantage of them. So it's just like, and then some people just have confidence issues when they're having sex. So it's like they don't even like looking at themselves naked. So it's hard for them to be naked in front of other people.
True.
There's those girls or guys that may only want to have sex in the dark.
That's crazy.
Some guys might be trying to hide that they, you know, ain't really that big. And some girls might be trying to hide that they titties hanging low. All bodies are beautiful. But some people, you know, they're not even able to enjoy sex because their minds are thinking about so many other things.
I think that just comes from people looking outward for validation. Like if you look inward for validation, that's why them people who move from the north, they get down here. Or them girls from the middle of nowhere come to a big city and they be running through people. Because, look, they came from a city, they didn't have as much social media. They didn't have as much of a hierarchy. So we was fucking, right? I like this. I never really thought people looked at me no type of way. So they get out here and they go crazy. But when you have people who are born into this, where it's like, you're 12 and like, oh, look at them holding hands. Oh, you gonna be with her because you're developing outward trauma. So like when you do go to have sex, it's like, damn, you're comparing yourself to all the other girls in your vicinity that they could be with, instead of just, nigga, they're
enjoying
having
the
sex
moment.
with you.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? So yeah.
But sex also means different things to different people.
True.
Some people, they like take it seriously. Some people are like, we just fucking, like, you know, I'm trying to get my nut. And then some people are, you know, they want to romanticize it. Some people are like, you're poking me. I don't want to be poked with your energy. It's different. It's different for everybody. So I feel like as long as you're on the same page, whatever page that is with your partner, I feel like you should have bomb sex.
True.
Hopefully.
I hope. I didn't realize.
I'm not even.
I didn't realize how many, like, people, women, don't, like, have orgasms. I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah. That's a real thing.
Which is crazy because, like, I'm a student of everything, bro. I watched this, like, documentary, Science and Sex Appeal. Like, I remember I worked at Levi's. Books A Million was, like, 2 stores down. And they had this book called, like, She Comes First. So my mind was trained on a lot of things before I ever encountered them.
Okay.
Right? So it was easier to navigate certain situations. And I feel like people should educate themselves.
Yes, they should. They absolutely should, because like all vaginas aren't even in the same. So it's like, I don't know about how it feels for you guys, but like sometimes like you'll feel like this knocking and it's like, whoa, please do not pass go.
Yeah.
And it's because the way it's either like tilted upside down, sideways, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And it's like some guys like aren't even paying attention to like feelings or not paying attention to this. My friend was telling me about her sex encounter once, and she was saying that the guy knew she didn't have a good time because her nipples weren't hard. Because I guess when you come for real, your nipples are hard. And
everybody's body's different, but yeah.
True. Everybody's body does different things. So I feel like a lot of people, when they're having sex, it's just really like it's a selfish thing. They're doing it for themselves, for whatever reason, if they want to just get their rocks off, or if they're fucking somebody to get back at somebody else, or if they're fucking somebody because they missed their ex, and it's just like, this is the closest thing to, because, you know, have you seen in movies where they're like, tell me you love me, and it's just like, bitch, I don't know you. Yeah. So, you know, people are doing whatever they do for different reasons. That's why I'm saying, as long as you are on the same page, I feel like you can have a good encounter.
I think so. I think
no matter the size, or no matter like the pussy size, I just feel like everything's everything.
I think dudes' problem is they want to do things their way, and they don't listen. I think a lot of people's issue is they want to get straight to sex. There is a process, and this is why I think a lot of people aren't successful in life. They'll never, okay, I don't think they could never be successful, but until they unlearn this about life, is you have to go through the process.
Right, you can't skip steps. Yeah.
If you try to go straight to sex, you could have good sex. It could be bomb, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you skip this process, and like you said, you can learn certain things in that process that when you get to this point, it's like, okay, I know what to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think people just are trying to recreate what they see other people do.
Exactly.
That's why porn is good, because it helps people find a release that can't.
But it's just
in their
not
own.
realistic.
Yeah, it's not
because
real.
they're still acting as well.
Exactly.
And a lot of women are acting when they have sex because they're faking it.
Yeah.
It just makes it, because I feel like if you fake it, it may make the time go faster. And you're like, we can get this over with sooner than later. And
Why? Okay, go ahead. Continue.
I feel like there's not one woman that hasn't been in that situation where they're like not faking
But
it.
I want to tell girls too. There's not one guy who hasn't faked it either. Because
Ooh.
I wanted to, because just like girls coming and orgasming is different. I'm here to tell y'all, guys coming and orgasming is different also.
So for the guys that like have faked it, do you think their mental space is like they're literally imagining something else, or they're hyping themselves up so that they can, come faster?
No,
or
I think girls, like, there is a lot of education on the male body, but I don't think girls seek it because they think all he has to do is come, and that's
all he has to do is look at me with my shirt off. Okay.
Yeah. So like a lot of the times, people don't know how to, and everything's not supposed to be fast paced. Some things is, if you get somewhere too fast, it could be too fast.
Right.
So, and that's just a natural body response. It's not, because orgasms usually happen when your mind
It's
and
mental.
your body
It's mental.
is
Yeah.
together.
But the orgasm happens mentally first.
True.
And it's just like, for me, like, I prefer to be mentally attracted to someone first than physical, because like I've dated a lot of like, I feel like medium ugly kind of guys, and well, what people would call medium ugly, but it's just like they're so fine to me just because it's like mentally, like I think like of them differently. And that's for the female. I think it has to be like mental attraction there first.
True. I think for dudes too, maybe emotional attraction is one thing a lot of girls skip over, because a lot of girls, they'll say, stop acting like a, is because you think he has no emotions. So if you treat him like he has no emotions, his emotions are never going to be aligned in your sex.
Male toxicity is a real thing.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you guys are told, be the provider, you can't cry, you can't show your emotions. And I think that that's what it stems from with you guys, with when you get in relationships, like, you want that emotional security. Because I know women, I feel like, may be looking for someone that can like financially provide, whereas like a man might be looking for like emotional stability where they can let their guard down, just because it's like you guys have always been told like you can't feel this way, don't cry, like suck it up. So when you feel like you can have feelings and have some type of like emotional security, you're like, okay, this might be a good match for me.
Yeah, I think like there should we have progressed society, at least in Atlanta. I can't speak for everywhere else. We have progressed where you don't need stability outside of yourself. You should be emotionally, financially, spiritually. What other Ali am I missing? All of those, you should be stable in yourself.
Yes.
So that way, all the other time in life that you spend worrying about you and I spend worrying about me, when we come together, we can worry about each other. That's how I think it should go. And that heightens all experiences, I think.
It does. But, shout out to you for having self-awareness and like trying to, it's obvious that you're like trying to be a better you every day. And some people just haven't like, they either don't get there or they don't want to do the work to get there. And it's like just how it's just so easy for you to be negative and automatically complain or automatically, like it takes the same amount of work to be a positive person.
Facts.
So it's just like, it all depends on you and what you want to put work into.
Yeah, I think that I agree. But let's get into these story times.
Okay,
right?
Let's go.
You ever been cheated on?
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, my first boyfriend that I had, when I said that I only like East Side dudes.
Yep.
I was not having sex. We lived in like two different counties, and I found out that he was time for him to, he was a year older, so it was time for him to go to college, and he broke up with me right before it was time for him to leave. And then, as you know, sometimes like when you break up with people or you guys end, all the little secrets and the lies come out. And his homie ended up telling me that he cheated on me. And then later on, when I spoke to him, I found out that he cheated on me with like 5 different girls. And it's like he had sex with all of them. And I like didn't come out of my room for a week. When I went to school the next day, my face was swollen because I was crying all night. But outside of like, you know, the puppy love stage, I think that I've also been cheated on in like my first big girl relationship. You know, if you take medication, it can cause like a different, antibiotics can cause like
Reactions.
reactions, or like for women, like it can mess your pH balance up. So it's like I was on antibiotics, which caused me to have like a yeast infection, and I've never had one of those before. So I'm just like, oh my god, what's going on? And my ex is like, okay, I'm sorry. I when I was at a party, I got head from some girl, and I'm just like, what? And I'm like, he thinks that he gave me an STD. And so immediately I go to the doctor. They're like, nothing's wrong. You just have a yeast infection. Take this. And he gets checked out too. Nothing's wrong. No STD, whatever. But it's like, nigga, really? Like now
Did
you
stay
tell
with him
me?
after that?
Yeah, I was retarded. I was dumb. Yeah, I took him back. Again, young and dumb. But now I look at that and I'm like, you did not just get head from some girl at a party. You
Was fucking her.
exactly. When we were broken up, it's like we were never broken up. We got in a fight. Like, but yeah, I've been cheated on.
Do you be in relationships like break up 2 days, get back together?
No, I don't like that. But I have been in like a toxic relationship before, and it does. I'm done, you know, and it's like, yeah, for 2 hours, and then.
Tell me about that though. Well, what's like some of the craziest toxic stuff y'all went through?
Oh my gosh! So if you ask him, he'll say I ran him over with the car. I did not. Listen. This is my side. So, you know, being in a toxic relationship. Yeah, thanks. Just, you know, go with it. So being in a toxic relationship, me and him are arguing, and then I hear his friend call me like a bitch or something. And, you know, me being a gangster that I am, I'm like, why you ain't check this nigga for calling me outside my name?
True.
I'm not even fucking talking to him right now. And he's a crackhead anyways. So I'm like, no, he didn't. So now I'm mad. I'm already mad because me and you were arguing. And now I'm even madder because, like, you got somebody else in our business. Not only are they in our business, but they're calling me a bitch, and I haven't even said anything to them. Mm-hmm. And you didn't check him. So now I feel like I have to go do the masculine thing and go check this nigga. So I'm in the car. And I see this nigga at my boyfriend at the time. I see him at his house. So he gets in the car, and I just start following him. I start following this nigga, and he drives back to my boyfriend's house so he could be like, yo, tell her to leave me alone. Tell her to stop following me. And so he drives off. And I'm like, move the fuck. The dude that calls me bitch drives off, and my ex gets in front of the car. And I'm like, move out the way. Like, I'm trying to get him. Like, move the fuck out the way. And he ends up jumping on the car, like jumping on the hood of the car while I'm like going maybe 5 miles an hour.
Okay.
So I'm like slowly driving. This nigga falls off the car, and I see him by the tire. I see he okay. I'm not about to hit him, and I keep going. So that was maybe like the craziest like toxic thing that I did. By the way, I was 19 at the time. That was like 10 years ago. Not that person anymore. But yeah, he would say that I hit him with a car, but I did not. He fell off of a moving vehicle. Yeah.
I think like the most toxic thing that ever happened in my relationship, I'm pretty sure my 5-year, I think both of them cheated. After things I found out, but I don't care to find out because I don't care. Like, but
yeah, don't go looking for shit you might not want to find. So
yeah, I don't even if
not that you wanted to find it.
Even if I wanted to find it, it would be indifference to how I think about them.
Okay,
like you did what you did. Like even though you did it to me, I'm not. Your place in my life ain't gonna go up or down based on that.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. So. The most toxic thing that happened though is she was working at this job, and they had like these contractors come in, and apparently like one of the ladies she worked with, she was like older, and of course she was like younger, more attractive, and she was to mess with the lady. she was like flirting with the dude, which I don't care, bro. Like, it's life. Live your life. But I think it went deep. It might have went deeper than that, right?
Okay.
So we go out to Boogaloo, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like her first time drinking with her friends out. We're out. We go back to her crib. Her friend's throwing up outside the car. Her phone buzzes.
Okay.
And I see her friend. So I'm like, something in my head, and this is like the only time I've ever like checked somebody's phone.
Okay.
Is I just, because she would be so evasive. Now, mind you, like 2 days before, the lady DM'd me on Facebook and was like, yo, I just want you to know your girlfriend's having sex with this dude, blah, blah, blah.
Yikes.
So I asked her about it. She said what it is. So I'm like, whatever.
What was it though? What did she say it was?
She was like, the story that I told you in the beginning, that's what she said it was.
Okay.
So I get her phone and I open up the messages. Now, I'm a smart guy, all right? I'm not scrolling
He's a smart guy.
I'm not scrolling through your messages. I go straight to the search bar and I type in the dude's name to see what messages pop up that has that name in it.
Okay.
And there's a thread with her and her friend.
Now, is that smart or is that toxic? You would be the
I mean,
judge.
I know how to find out what I'm
Okay,
in.
yeah.
I don't care about the other stuff.
It's getting
like-
toxic. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
So she her friend had a message that alluded to like something more.
Okay.
So I put the phone down because like I'm gonna just ask you.
Ooh.
Right? So
Okay.
we get back to her house. Her friends finished throwing up. This other girl, like, I'll tell you that later. But we're trying to get her to leave the house.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she wanted to come, like, stay, and you know what I'm saying. So we get her out of the house. So I asked her. I was like, "Yo, what is this?" And she's like, "You went through my phone." Mind you, she went through my phone all the time. I never really went through hers. So
You felt like it was fair game, even if you did go through her phone, because she always is like in your phone.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So then she starts hitting me, and I said, "Oh no." We broke up right after that, bro. I'm done. I'm good. I'm not living like this. I'm
Yeah.
great. But that's the closest thing. My personal, then I had a roommate that nigga turned into Mike Tyson, boy. It was bad. And like, it always would happen in a room, and I couldn't really tell if it was like throwing stuff around, or so I would just go sit outside the room so she knows, like, hey, look, that door is the only thing stopping you from having somebody that'll break this up. That's what I used to do. So, but nigga, the things I seen them go through, I say, yo, I've never had no toxicity and none, like no real toxicity in none of my relationships.
Good for you.
So it's always funny to hear people's story, like
Good
hitting
for
people
you.
with cars.
Good for you.
Turn to your boy.
I did not hit him with the car though. He was already jumping on top of the car as I'm driving, and I'm in a neighborhood, so I'm really not driving that
I almost
fast.
turned him to roadkill.
No, I didn't, because when I saw he wasn't even about a tire, it was like, skirt, keep going. And that's what it was. I think that's what hurt his feelings. When he fell off the car, he was like, "You're supposed to get out and probably help me." And it was just like, nah, you good.
You were supposed to check your mans. We could have stopped all of this right there.
Exactly. I was already, in a raging, toxic, I'm getting this nigga for calling me a bitch. And that's not even really a big deal to me, honestly. But I was just already so irritated. I felt like I probably just used that kid as a scapegoat.
Have you ever cheated?
No, I have never cheated. He's looking at me like he doesn't believe me, but I have never cheated.
No, I believe you because I've never cheated.
I've never cheated.
Yeah.
Now, I've been broken up and go hit up a recyclable,
Yeah.
but I've never cheated in a relationship. Yeah.
That's what's up. Like,
It's possible. It's so possible not to cheat.
it's actually very easy. It's actually harder to cheat. It takes more work to cheat than not cheat.
I think some people get bored and they like the chase of the cheating, or they like the sneakiness of it. But like I'm not gonna do that.
I'm a person, I think this attests to like my way I go about relationships. I like redecorating, right? So like I will strip my room down and put it back together. And with that, I think like a lot of people, they just rather go get a new room and experience a new room. And I learned that about people is because like,
Good analogy.
yeah, like people always used to be like, I got to go to another school. I got to meet new people. Why can't you just further your relationships with the people you already have?
Right.
I think people just like new things instead of making new experiences.
Exactly.
With old
And I
things.
think people give up too quick.
For sure.
And that's like on themselves or either on jobs or relationships or, family members, I think it's just easier to say fuck it than like maybe have a tough conversation or like fix the situation. Because it's just easier to just give up, and it's like I don't like giving up, so I don't like living like that.
How often do you think you like stayed in a relationship past its expiration date?
I've done that twice.
What made you stay? Was it that like I don't want to give up and start over?
No, starting over is great. For me personally, I think that I have a problem letting go because it's like I have a problem letting in. So once I let you in, I'm like, oh, yes, okay, we're here. And then it's just like I don't really want to release the reins because I'm just like, no, like maybe I can fix this, But again, you live and you learn life lessons. Even in baseball, like you get what 3 times back,
strikes.
Yeah, and then you out. So it's just like for me personally, it's like enough is enough when it's enough. And I would just let it get so bad to the point where I've seen this meme where it was just like, when it's time to let people go, when you don't let them go, God or the universe is going to make them hurt you so bad that you have no choice. Oh, yeah. And it's like I would let shit get to like that point. Yeah. You live and you learn. You live and you learn.
So have you ever had like a friend like try to be with like somebody that you've been with before?
No.
That's good.
I have great friends.
That's good.
Yeah, I've never experienced that.
I've had like girls who I dated and their friends or their like kind of friends. They would be a hey sis in the comments. Then I would see them in my DM like my conversations after my most recent relationship were like this. And these are girls all in her comments. My conversations were like, so how you and such and such doing? Like, oh, we broke up. Oh wow, like y'all are done? Like, yeah, we broke up like last June or something like that. I think this really started happening like when I started doing a podcast. And so that was at least like 6 months removed. They'd be like, oh, that's crazy, blah, blah, blah. It would be a pause. So like, are you like
dating?
Would you be, are you, or like.
Try to slide.
You back fucking again?
Oh.
I'm like, man, if you don't get out of my face, like,
do you respond or you just leave it? I
just say no, and a lot of people don't believe me. Like, there's people who have been to my old apartment, and they'll come in there like, oh my, I know you be fucking bitches in here. I'm like, yeah, I really be by myself a lot. Like, but I don't know. Why do you think people like that?
Like.
Why do you think people have that perception? Because like even when I talk to people,
because some people are extremely materialistic and they see things that they like, so then they think that because they see things that they like, that they can get things that they like from that person.
Like, and a lot of times when I talk to people who have these assumptions about me, they're people who like don't even be having sex like that themselves, or like they be in relation. Oh, never mind. Sorry, take that back. But that's when I realized how dirty the game was, though. When I started to have,
is the game dirty or are the people dirty?
Nah, the game. See,
or a both.
If you play a game, you are only going to get a certain set of prizes. If you want to find real happiness, you can't play games.
Okay.
So when I realized like the game that people are playing out here is crazy, is when I would have conversations with girls on like some genuinely like regular conversation. And they would hold the I got a boyfriend card as long as possible.
Okay.
Until I was either like, yo, like, I just be chilling. I don't really be doing that. Then they'll be like, well, yeah, my boyfriend bought. I'm like, nigga, we have been talking for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
There was many conversations you could have brought up your boyfriend and you didn't.
So you think they use it as like a gambling experience? Like they don't really want to. It's like a card that they don't want to like bring out, and once they see that it has like no merit or it's like not gonna work, it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't have a boyfriend anymore, or okay, like let me use this because it might work.
Like when they say like some people are single depending on who asks, that's what it is. I'm like, no. And I never forget, there was this girl from high school that I hung out with.
From high school. I mean, we went to the same high school, so let me
well,
think.
No, from high school, like time.
Okay.
But she went to a different school.
Okay.
And I remember first time I linked with her, like we were like, she hit me up on Facebook. We talked for like a week or two. Then I come over her crib after school. You know, we're chilling, and she's like, "You want to come to my room?" That was when I was young and dumb. All right, like I had, like even when I lost my virginity, I didn't plan to like do that. It just was like I was weaseled into it. All right, so this was the same way. So we had sex, whatever. Things went by, and then I come over again, same thing. So then she calls me like that. I think that happened on like a Thursday. She calls me Saturday. She's like, "Hey, I'm at my boyfriend's football game." I said, "You're what?" She was like, "I think I want to leave my boyfriend for you."
Oh,
I
nah,
said,
shorty.
"Please do not do that."
We good, because first of all, I didn't even know you had a dude.
Yeah.
And because you do, stay with him.
That's what I told her. I was like, if you do this to him, what do you think I think you're going to do to me? Are you crazy?
I think a lot of people forget, like, the way that you get them is the same way you're going to lose them. So it's like there's been a lot of situations where I see women and men both. They're like, oh, well, you know, they left so-and-so for me. Or, oh, you know, I cheated on them with this person and now we're together. It's like, what do you think is going to happen to you if they've already shown you who they are?
I think some people think, like, I'm the one for you.
Yeah, they do, for sure.
So, yeah, I told her that. I was like, and then what was crazy, though, she used to comment on our sexual activities on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, no. Not telling a business
And
in
I'm
public.
like, but she gave
on
me like
public sites.
a like nickname that she would say.
Still.
So she wasn't.
Still, it's like you can't hold water. I can't really trust you. Have you ever been in a situation where you like someone, and have you ever been in a situation where you got played and you're just like, yo, no the fuck, this didn't happen to me?
What do you like?
Give me your
story
me.
time.
I got played once, and I was just like, nigga, me? Yeah, I got played. So I really like this dude, like really liked him. I don't really like a lot of people like that, but like I actually liked him. Like I was in like my bachelorette stage of life. I was dating whoever I wanted, like dating at least 2 or 3 people at a time. And not saying I'm like having sex with them, but like literally like just dating. Like
I don't judge either way.
no, I just want to make that clear. Like I was not having sex with these people. But I'm literally like going on dates. I'm having fun. I'm like maybe like 25 at the time. And then I find this one guy we're dating, and it's like I really like him. We're like texting all day. I don't usually do that because people get on my nerves. And it was just so like organic. Like we got along great. I was like so comfortable with him. We're talking about things I don't usually talk about. And then he's like kind of like Christian, so like kind of like more religious. And I kind of felt like I was like the bad apple. Like I'm kind of cursing, I'm smoking weed. Like he's not really doing that. And we're having a great time. And then he's like, we shouldn't have sex because I think that's going to, you know, mess our relationship up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm cool with that. Cool. You're on some, you know, Megan, you know, that book that Megan Good and her
No.
So Megan Good and her husband at the time wrote a book about like, I think it's called The Weight, and it means exactly that. Like, I'm like, okay, you want to do that? Great. Less stress for me. And then out of nowhere, I'm like taking a shower. My door is like closed. He kind of like comes in there and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to see me naked. And he's like, girl, like, stop, like, chill. Blah, blah, blah. One thing leads to another. Then we end up having sex. We go like 6 rounds. And it was just like the next day, he's like, yeah, so I have to go on this fast that I'm doing for church. Like, I can't talk to you for 21 days.
No, that's crazy.
21 days. So
why are you fasting for me though?
So we had a mutual friend, and she's like, "No, Disha, this is a real thing. Like at church, that we are doing like this 21-day fast, blah blah blah." And that's like not even the point.
The day before,
right? And then like so many rounds, and it's like I feel like you did that because you were like, "Damn, well we're here now. Let me just get it out of my system before I like go on a 21-day fast." But then I'm an idiot because I'm like, okay, well after his little fast, like we gonna talk again. So he like hits me up after the 21-day fast, and it comes out that he chooses Jesus instead of me. So no. I really felt played because I'm just like, I wasn't trying to have sex with you.
Okay.
You weren't trying to have sex with me. So it's like, why did you have to have sex with me? And then the very next day tell me you have to go on this 21-day fast. Where not only are we not like having sex because that wasn't the issue, but it's just like, you can't even talk to me at all. And I'm an idiot thinking, okay, well, after these 21 days is up, like, we'll go back to, like, where we left off. It's like, no, if someone needs to take a break from you like that, just go ahead and cut your losses. Because if I was a factor to you, we could have kept
You're
having
not fasting from your mother.
No, right. And it's just like we could have still communicated, but the fact that you're telling me that you can't have any communication, whatever. So super religious he was, and I'm thinking
People be fake religious, bro. And I only know this because now, like, I consume a lot of content because I do YouTube. So I consume a lot of real people's thought processes. Right. And when I hear dudes who are super religious, there's some people who I do believe in it wholeheartedly by the book, right? But there are some people, you always have to ask, how did you get here, right? And there's some people who use it as like a book of control, right? I can control what goes on. Because I'm going to be honest, I think, obviously, niggas have built whole empires, pillaged the world over a woman. I've seen it happen. So, like, I think a lot of religious texts are to try to have guys garner some control in the world. I think that's really what it is. Because even, do you watch Marvel movies?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay, so Multiverse of Madness. Did you watch that? Doctor Strange. Watch it. But watch it with this in mind, all right? So what Multiverse of Madness is Doctor Strange. He can go through time and delete out people who he wants to delete out because he thinks this is best for the timelines, the universe. They don't want Wanda to have that same power because all she really wanted is to live in a world with her kids, but she had to control the things around her to be able to do it. So he was able to have all of this power. She wasn't. But the whole concept behind it is there's this book that was a collection of all knowledge, and they didn't want her to read it because if she found out her true power, then she would be able to run everything,
right,
and stop them from even doing what they do. So a lot of religious texts, I think it is the same concept. It's like, hey, we're gonna give the fittest in the world what was perceived to be fittest, the strongest, but at the end of the day, the most fit person for the world is the one who could bring life into it. Because if you can't bring life into the world, everything's going to die.
Right.
So who's really, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people use religion in that way.
As
and
a
it sounds
tool
like
to get what they want.
Yeah, if he believed in, if you chose Jesus, when people say that, they're lying. He's lying.
Well, we noticed. That's why it's story time when you got played.
Yeah, but the reason he's lying, and that's why I ask questions. That's why I get into a lot of altercations with people, because I'm not going to let you just sit here and trick me. Right. So if you choose Jesus, what does that mean? Because choosing the way of Jesus is treating those, do upon those as you would want done to yourself. That's why it's called the golden rule. That's why the golden calf and all the things that they preached in the Bible. If you believe you chose Jesus, do you think you treated me in a way, or you're treating me now in a way that you will want me to treat you? And if you say no, you can't have chose the way of Jesus.
Right.
So niggas be lying, bro.
That was for sure a lie. But it was like the first time I really got played, and it was just like, are you serious? Like, 21-day challenge? Like, I thought he was playing. And then when it was over, he was like, yeah, no, I'm sticking on this side. Like,
So did y'all, like, still communicate after that?
Barely. It got to a point where it was just like, I told him, I'm like, you played me. He's like, no, I didn't. Like, I don't like that you're saying that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't like what you did. Okay, cool. Nah, he actually hit me up, like, last month, though. It was really funny. Really funny. Hit me up. He does that randomly. And it's just like, there's those people that are going to always come back and, like, try to spin the blocks, circle the blocks, see what's cracking.
So you pop up with a ring, he going to be sick.
Yeah, very sick. Yeah. But no, that was, like, the first and only time I've been played. Got my radar up now.
I don't think I've been played before. Because I really just be focusing on myself. Like, and I think it's because I grew up hanging around a lot of girls where girls be like, yo, I just be doing me. Niggas really be interrupting my peace. That's how I be living. Like, if you want me to come out of my routine of life, you're going to have to say it. Two, you're going to have to show me something, bro. Because if you don't show me nothing, I'm just going to continue
doing what you got going on. Yeah, because it's like you already got a good routine and a good schedule and everything is kosher over here. So it's like, for me to stop my kosher routine, like, you have to be bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily, because that has like such a bad connotation on it. Not really like, like how you said you want to be friends with people. Cause this one girl, oof, she okay. So I don't know why people do this, but they talk to you for like 2 days and think you're supposed to like only be for them, right?
No, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
That's a red flag because that's not normal. That's not normal at all. I met this guy and he wanted to take me out, and I let him do it because he approached me correctly, and it's like I can respect that. Like, come correct, and like liked me in 20 minutes. I was already on his Instagram. He's already like telling people this is my girl. It was just like whoa, 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 whoa. This is
sick.
This is a huge red flag. Like you don't even know my last name.
Yeah.
Like, bruh. So I think that when people get like that, it shows that they're needy, they're clingy, they're possessive, and low key they're controlling. They want their
Looking for a validation.
yeah,
from others.
and they need attention really bad. And it's like I don't have that much attention to give, especially this early on. Like that's crazy. And it's like if this is how you acted on day 2, I can only 2 weeks. Whoa.
Yeah, facts.
Whoa, we're gonna be planning our wedding.
Bruh, so like I put it on my Instagram. So I've been moving recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
So this girl, she had been like in and out of my DMs, you know what I'm saying? We were talking. We were actually supposed to link one time, but then she seen me post my friend on my story, which, you know, there's a story time about it on my Instagram.
She like the homie?
Yeah, she's the homie for sure. But everybody, it's funny because she said this was gonna happen because like she's like that with all her homies, right?
Okay.
She's the girl that all her homies like interest is like I don't like her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean she's light skinned and attractive, so like that's why people do that. But anyway, so I posted her. So what happened was the girl hit me up. She was like, hey, you know, we might have to reschedule because I was gonna go with her to the Battery.
Okay.
Right? So just chill, talk, because I met her doing a public interview, but we never like chilled in person.
Okay.
So we're supposed to go to the Battery, and she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So my friend Bree, she hit me up, and she's like, what are you doing? Because we'll go out to eat. She'll update me on all like her whole activities because she be out here getting them.
Okay.
Like, so.
I think that guys need girlfriends, and I think that girls need guy friends.
For sure.
It's healthy.
And so she's telling me all these things, and she's like, yeah, because she had just got her whole roster disappeared one day, but they all came back like 2 days later. She was like panicking.
Oh God.
But so she was telling me how she got them all back and blah blah blah, and then she was like, man, I need some more people. Post me on your Instagram. Post her on my Instagram. Then the girl says, we're still in that are we rescheduling phase, and she says, I see you're already doing something, they're already busy or something. I'm like, nigga, this is my friend. What
everybody knows, you know, what assuming does, so it's just like, just ask if you need to ask.
But it gets worse, all right? But so we go through that whole thing. Then like a couple days later, back in my DMs, blah blah, and like I'm funny, but I think you have to know me to understand like when I'm joking and when I'm not. So I'm saying things like, she's like, this is why you be fumbling the baddies. I'm like, bro, fumbling you something, you know what I'm saying? I could never live down. I'm joking, bro.
Yeah.
So, and something tells me, do not give her like something in the back of my head, like, don't give her your number. I end up giving her my number. This is like the day before I get my moving truck, right? So I text her, we're texting, cool. Goes by. The next day I move, and I'm moving stuff for like the next 2 days. And then, what did I post? Oh, I posted some funny stuff from my YouTube. That's why girls have to know me, because then you'll know like what is from YouTube and what's real life.
Yeah, what's business and what's personal.
Exactly. So I post something like that, and then she goes to my Twitter, and back in Facebook, you might not know my Twitter days, but you know on Facebook we was trolling with each other, like. So she went through my Instagram and she thought interactions were things that they weren't really on Twitter. Yeah. So then she texted me this big old long message.
Oh,
like,
she sent a novel.
Boy.
Like, I ain't about to read a book.
She said, she was like, I don't know if this is how you treat girls who you're trying to pursue, but this is probably, you shouldn't go to, mind you, she didn't text me these 2 days either. And it's like this big old long thing, and I just reply like, bro, I've been moving the past 2 days. Like, she was like, that's still no, you're using that as an excuse to, not talk to me. That's no excuse, blah, blah, blah. Another novel. So I responded, I was like, bro, look. She was like, I don't think we should move forward with our date, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, listen, from what you know about me, I understand why you feel the way you feel, and that's valid.
Right.
And if you don't want to do that, that's fine, right? And then she's like, oh, thank you for understanding, blah, blah, blah. Good night. I just say good night, go ahead, you know what I'm saying? 2 hours pass. And then she sends me a, bro, Harry Potter book, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
I just think it's pathetic that blah, blah.
It's like, get it. Go off.
Yeah. And she's like, this is why you got story times of you fumbling baddies and you probably just don't deserve one. I know what she's trying to do because my ex used to do this. She used to use like them type of things to like emotionally manipulate me. But like once I realized that's what you're doing and you're not even judging me on my actual actions, I'm fine, bro. So she sent that. I didn't even respond. So
that probably really made her tight, you not responding. Because
Facts.
now it's like, damn, I have to leave this nigga alone. Like, I've already sent so much via text.
I'm
like,
going to show you the text message after
What
this,
more
bro.
do I need to get out?
Like, I could not believe it. I'm on the phone, and the irony is I'm on the phone with Bree. Bree's telling me, like, one of her dude, I can't say that on camera. One of her dudes went from his job to, like, another location for his job, and, you know what I'm saying? She's telling me all of this. I look at my phone, and I'm like, nah, son.
There's no way. Yeah.
Crazy. And it was like, we haven't even met in person. You don't even know if you like me. You might have met me and hated me.
That's what I'm saying. With Buddy, it was just like, bro, you don't even know me. I hit people with cars.
Facts.
I'm like, I don't do that. But yeah, that's always a red flag because it's like you are looking for shit from me that you're not giving yourself. True. And I can't be around energy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a major red flag.
Big on like energy?
Yes, extremely.
You believe in zodiac signs?
Absolutely.
What are you?
I am a Taurus.
Damn.
Don't say it like you've had a bad time. So like I'm like I know like all my like my whole chart. So it's like I'm a Taurus sun, I'm a Scorpio moon, and a Sagittarius rising.
So what does that mean? The moon and the rising, what does that mean?
Oh, so the sun is like what most people see, but your moon sign is like what you feel, like how you feel about yourself, and it's like supposed to be like your true personality. And then your
Scorpio. You said okay. Go ahead.
And then the ascending sign is what I've seen is like what you're supposed to master in this lifetime.
So do you feel like the Taurus thing about you is accurate?
For sure.
I can see it.
I'm a real bull. Yes. What's your sign?
A Gemini.
Okay, so why are you saying anything about me being a fucking Taurus when you are the most hated on the zodiac?
Let me tell you, because I think the hate is valid, right?
It is.
But I'm explaining to you.
I've dated a Gemini before. Y'all is like, oh, you don't know which one you're going to get which day.
That's not true.
Oh, yes, it is.
No, it's not true. There are two types of Geminis, right? And I only know this because my roommate was also a Gemini. And
there's two types of Geminis, and then you guys are two people within your Gemini zodiac because it's like you.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you but you know this, though, because you said it earlier. There's the me that cares, and there's the me that doesn't care. The thing about me, though, is if you ever experience the I don't care part, you're never coming back to this side.
Right.
So it's not like you don't know which one you're going to get. You always going to get this one until you end up over here. And that's it. But I think what a lot of things is Geminis, just like my friend groups, I could be friends over there. So if I'm talking to you and you don't like that girl, but I'm friends with her, just because I'm over there, the same loyalty you see me exhibit to you, I'm going to still exhibit to you over there, but I can still be friends with her. A lot of people look at that as two-faced.
I don't think that's two-faced because it's just like, I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do.
True.
And it's just like, for me, I'm emotionally mature enough to understand that like certain personalities just aren't going to get along.
True.
So you have to respect the fact that like I'm still cool with this person. I remember in high school, like two of my really good friends fought. I don't want to say their names.
We'll talk about it after. Go ahead.
Yeah, so two of my friends, they fought, and everybody was like, yo, Disha, whose side you on? Whose side you on? I'm like, nigga, I'm not on a side. Yeah. And it was just like, I've been cool with them separately my whole entire our whole entire friendships, it wasn't like I was cool with one first and then I got cool with the other one, so it's like I should be taking the one side that I was cool with. It was like, no, I'm not taking a side because I'm still friends with both of them. And it's like, this had nothing to do with me, so it's like I'm still able to be friends with both of these people. Do they think I'm fake? No, because they both knew that I was friends with them, and I knew that they didn't like each other, and it's like, that's not my business. So it's like, you can't, people that get like that and say stuff like that is disloyal are just really insecure.
But the reason why I think people develop the Gemini hate, though, and I see this because I always used to joke about this in high school, right? This person, I used to say that he is who I was if I didn't want to be a good person. But I always used to be joking because, like, I was the same as friendships, but, like, I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend, but I'm fucking bitches
Yeah,
too.
but I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah. So, but what he does is, the same way I can understand this friend group and that friend group, I try to say, like, y'all aren't as different as y'all think y'all are.
Yeah.
These are y'all similarities, and a lot of times that's how my friend groups get so big. It's because I can bridge the gap between my friends groups. What he would do is he would play the friend groups against each other. Like, oh, I don't really like her like that. You know what I'm saying? She's crazy, right? She'll go over there, make them seem like they're crazy, and he's just caught in the middle.
He's paying like both sides of the fence, and then up with his hands like, oh, I don't know. It's just like, well, you caused the mess, nigga. Like, sometimes you just gotta let people not like each other.
True.
It's like, everybody's not gonna like you, and everybody's not gonna like each other, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you know, some people suffer from main character syndrome. Facts. And they just want to be liked by everybody, and it's just like, that's a you problem.
You feel like a main character?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a true Taurus, so it's just like, I'm on my business, I'm chill, I'm happy, I'm fun. But what happens when you see a bull see a red flag? They go crazy, right? Like, when you all right,
they hit you, right?
Yeah. So it's like, don't be on my back. Think about bull riders. Like, they only last on the bull 60 seconds, right? Because the bull don't like people on their back.
True.
Also, a bull is in their pen, they're minding their business. Don't come in here on no insecure intimidation shit, because then you're just gonna get bulldozed over. Yeah. And don't wave no red flags at me. Other than that, I'm chill.
I don't think that's the case with maybe for you. The Tauruses I dated, bro. I dated a Taurus. We only dated for a month, and I told myself, I'm never doing this again. Now, like, it was bad, bro. And I told the story about it. She really stole me from her friend. I was just oblivious going through life, right? And she kind of
just like an air sign, because you're with the air, so it's like you're oblivious, and it's like you've said over and over again, like you're like a words of affirmation kind of person. Like, someone has to literally tell you, or you're like, it's like you almost don't know if someone likes you unless you're saying it.
Exactly.
No, I know. I'm dating an air sign. I get it. Y'all are a little spicy.
I just be chilling. But once you tell me, I'm locked in. Yeah. But like before that, like, because I realize what a lot of girls do now, though, that try to talk to me, is they'll do what they do. They know the competitive nature of men, and they'll try to pit me against the other dudes they're talking to. And so they'll say things like, yeah, he came over, but I don't really want to hang out with him today. What other thirsty, you know what I'm saying, try hard dudes is going to do? Oh, let me come over.
Yeah. See, I don't like stuff like that, because it's like, say what you mean to say.
Exactly.
And I feel like if you listen close enough, people will tell you all their insecurities. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know why you don't like Taurus. Like, we cool. I think that there's a lot of downsides to, like, each sign. Like, everybody, like, we're stubborn, we're hard-headed, we like to be right.
I think there's good versions and bad versions of each
exactly. And it's just like, if you're not, fuck your sign. If you're not self-aware, you're going to get on someone's nerves.
Exactly.
Because you don't even,
you don't know who you are.
You don't know who you are, and it's just like, if you're not self-aware, you don't even know when you're getting on someone's nerves. You can't pick up with social cues. You can't pick up on body language, and it's like, honestly, I feel like a part of not being self-aware comes and stems from being so self-absorbed. Like, you are so into you and your reality of shit that you can't see outside of yourself. And that's actually sad, because there's so many other personalities and people here that it's just like, bro, we are here to share this world and teach each other things. You are not the only one here on earth.
Yeah. But I think, like, the second Taurus was the girl that I dated in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like, she's still my home. Like,
I mean, you were with her for a very long time.
Yeah, true.
So it's obvious some things that you do like about Taurus women. Just saying.
Well,
we ain't that bad.
I don't think y'all are that bad. It's just like, I know how to handle it today, though. Like, I don't think I was equipped to handle it back then, because like when you're getting older, like especially high school going into college, responsibilities are getting thrown at you. And like if you don't have somebody, because I understand other people's responsibilities, that's why I try not to.
You're understanding.
Yeah. She wasn't. And like, dang, do you not see
That might not be a
both?
tourist thing, though. That's just like a people thing. It is. It's a people thing, because I don't necessarily base everyone's signs off of certain things, but it's just like, okay, air signs. I can always tell air signs because they're like natural wanderers. Like I have a friend, he's a Libra, and we'll be walking and he just gets lost in everything he's looking at. That's like such an air thing. Fire signs, you always know them. They're loud. They say whatever the fuck they want, and they really don't apologize much. They have a huge attention issues. And it's like earth signs are extremely grounded. They like have their head on their shoulders, right, but they're kind of stubborn. And then water signs, everybody knows they're like hella emotional.
So what are water signs? What are the water signs?
Water signs are Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer.
So I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I've only met one. I'll say this. I've only met one Scorpio, like beyond the surface, and boy, I met mad Cancers though. That I'm like,
I've met a lot of Cancers too.
Y'all are bugging. Right? Y'all gotta chill, okay?
They cool.
I think people just need to find out how to get like a hold on their emotions.
Yeah, but that's the thing about like water signs is they're like extremely emotional, and emotional doesn't equal crybaby. Emotional just means you're extremely in tune with your emotions. So sometimes you hear certain words and you get certain feelings from them, but that's not even what the person said.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, that's like, why are you giving words other meanings based off of your feelings? Water signs, man. Emo.
What's crazy is like, so there's this girl, right? She damn.
You can't say too much without saying too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to like figure out how to, like, I can tell when people take emotional digs at you, because I used to do it. I'm really good at it, like hiding like the animosity.
That's called passive aggressive energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
I'm very, but see, I used to do that without knowing that's what I was doing.
Ooh,
right?
That's annoying.
I mean, I was in middle school, bro. So once I learned that, now it's easier for me to spot it in other people. So like which is crazy that I couldn't spot it when my girlfriends did it. Maybe that's why they say love make you blind.
Yes,
though.
it does.
It
does, because once you're not in that situation no more, you like, yo,
yeah,
what? How did I miss that?
So even my ex, she would say things like, I would bring up stories with people. I hate bringing up Bree all the time, but she's like, dang, you and Bree.
Bestie.
You and Bree are getting close, aren't y'all? She would say stuff like that. I'm like, nigga, what? So this girl, she said the same thing. So I'm about to go do a YouTube video today. So I asked her, my homie wants to do like this bit in a skit where I like call a girl and be like, we have like this Airbnb that is but it's like a school bus that they blew out the outside inside and made it to like a bedroom.
Yes.
And he's like, yo, we should do a bit where you call a girl and be like, yo, come over, right?
And then she sees the school bus and is like, what the fuck?
Exactly, right? So I asked the girl, I was like, hey, do you want to be the person I call? She was like, no, you know, I'm nervous. You should ask Bree, though. I'm like, nigga, what?
I will ask Bree, actually.
I did.
Because you know she gonna come through.
I think Bree's mad though, because I told her what happened. I was like, this what happened, and she was like, because she was already going through other issues of other girls hating on her at the time I called her. She was like, actually, I will do it. Oh, I'm like, see, here we go, bro.
But it's also like just signs that you shouldn't be. Look, we are 28, 29. Like there's gonna be so many more people that we meet.
Yeah.
So many more Brees, so many more other girls, so many more guys. And I just feel like when there's signs that we shouldn't be talking to people. When people get upset because you have a girl homie, it's like, all right, that's cool. We don't need to be friends, because guess what? I'm gonna have more girl homies. Yeah. If you can't handle that, like me and you are not gonna be good.
I'm gonna tell you why she feels that way. I can't say it on camera though. I'm gonna tell you why after this though. But this is we'll end up on this. How do you define love?
I think love is patient, kind, caring, and forgiving. And I think that goes for how you love yourself too, because You have to love yourself first, or it's going to be a shit show trying to love somebody else. And I think love is a journey. But I think that it's like a burst of feelings. It can make you upset. It can make you happy. But it's not supposed to be toxic. It's not supposed to be hateful. It's not supposed to be jealous. But it's a feeling that may be undescribable for some people. But I think it's kind. I think it's generous, and I think it's patient.
I think this is why I think a lot of people get in relationships they're not supposed to be in. I think love is a verb that means to understand, to try to understand. And like, that's where you get like patience. The kind, patience, blah, blah, blah. Those are all like, you know what I'm saying, synonyms of that action. But I think like the second you stop trying to understand somebody, you can't say you love them. And you can't say you love somebody if you don't at least try to understand where they're coming from. But I think the reason they say like you can't love anyone until you love yourself is because if you can't even understand yourself, you're never going to understand anybody else.
Exactly.
So
I second that.
I think a lot of people they try to understand other people, but they don't understand that like if they also understood you, they wouldn't put you in certain positions.
Right. And that's where I go from saying like love sometimes is ego driven, and it's like just out of possessions, because we're only supposed to experience people and what they give us. You should be appreciating the fact that someone's allowing you to experience things with them, you know, and when the experience is up, it's time to move on too. And some people don't. Some people won't let you go. Even when you're done and they know that y'all are broken up and stuff like that, they won't let you go. And it's just like, bro, you're not getting out of life what you need if you're holding on to something that doesn't want you.
Exactly. And I think that's why, like, it's a trick our mind plays on us. Like, our mind uses our senses to try to navigate the world. And the fact that our eyes only see forward and we see everything right side up, we think like that's the way everything should go. So if I like this, it should continue through time with me in a linear fashion. When life isn't linear, it's only the way we perceive life to be linear. That's why you get like the sleep paralysis or like the deja vu, because like you could be experiencing things that aren't linear in time,
right?
But when you get there in a linear point in time, it feels like something else. So very interesting. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have to do shrooms one day for sure.
Yeah, that would be an experience.
It would be crazy conversation. You said what?
I have some now if you need them. Not saying like take them right now, but I'm saying just so you know where to go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
I definitely next weekend for sure. We'll talk about that later. But look, tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, you guys can find me on Instagram _Dish DEESH. You can also find me on Twitter with the same handle, Facebook Disha Little, but follow me on IG _Dish4.
Listen, thank you for coming to the pod.
Thanks for the invite.
For sure. We're going to work together on some other stuff. But listen, y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Please, if you find a little bit of rage inside of you, take your keys out the ignition. We'll see you later. Peace.